Hey everyone, this is Jesse from Janjo. In today's video, we will be talking about 5 more super spicy GOAT format tech. So, let's get started.
Dual sauce, extra sauce. Hit that subscribe.
So just quickly, before we get to these, if you want to support the Janjo Zone, consider subscribing if you haven't, if you enjoy weekly Yu-Gi-Oh content, and if you want to continue further supporting the channel. Check out my TCG player link so I can get some kickback, or perhaps check out my merch or my Patreon if you want to request a video, or, just whatever you want to do. Want to support Janjo? Get your name in videos or request content for the channel? Then check out my Patreon for exclusive perks, content, and stretch goals. Alright, so the first card we're talking about today is Dark Scorpion Mine the Thorn. Is it Mine or is it Mine? Mine? Whatever. She's a Dark Scorpion monster. Love the Dark Scorpions personally. With 4 stars. Dark Attribute. Warrior. Typing with 1,000 attack and 1,800 defense. And her effect reads that when she inflicts battle damage, you can activate one of 2 effects. Either 1, add a Dark Scorpion card from your deck to your hand, or target one in your graveyard and add that to your hand. Now this is pretty good. It's not as good in GOAT format. The problem being is that, 1, Cliff the Trap Remover isn't a Dark Scorpion card by this point. I mean, he is, but he doesn't have it in its name until much later. And similar thing with Donzalug. Donzalug is a Dark Scorpion monster, but it's not a Dark Scorpion monster. It doesn't have Dark Scorpion in its name, so you can't search it with Mine the Thorn. So really, your only option you got is Chick the Yellow at this point. And Chick the Yellow is still pretty good. It's a semi-limited card, so you can only run 2 of. And when it inflicts battle damage, you can target 1 card in the field and return it to the hand. And also you can look at the top part of your opponent's deck and return it to the top or bottom of the deck. So you can decide, if you get the chance to play Chick the Yellow, so I guess this is sort of 6 techs in a way, with Chick and Mine, that you can rearrange what they're going to draw, which is arguably more powerful than a Wing Wind Blast if you can really get it going. And then you can also add it Chick from the graveyard to your hand if you need to. You can search it out. But Dark Scorpion Chick the Yellow can also target 1 card in the field and return it to the hand. So it can be any card. It can be a spell card. It can bring back your Premature Burial. It can send a, Blackluster Soldier. There's cards you can use with this too, which is great. What was that Secret Pass to the Treasures? I think was one. Yeah, select a monster with 1,000 attacks or less on your field, and it can attack directly. Man, this is just like a super extra tech video, huh? Secret Pass to the Treasure, because you can use this too with Chick the Yellow. And with Mine's attack isn't very good, but its defense is still pretty high. Your opponent is going to have plenty of monsters that will attack into it and probably take damage. Obviously, depending on what they're playing more like Kaiku, Skilled Dark, or Berserk Gorilla builds, then they're going to have more trouble hitting past, or they're going to have an easier time hitting past Mine the Thorn. But a lot of other monsters like Tribe Infecting Virus, or a lot of just more weaker monsters, are like DD Warrior Lady, like they're going to take damage if they're attacking to Mine the Thorn, which means you're probably going to get its effect off. Again, it would be so much better if Donzalug was just Dark Scorpion Donzalug, or Donzalug the Dark Scorpion leader, God, something. But still, you can do stuff with Cliff the Trap Remover, and you can even throw a Secret Pass of the Treasure. So this is like a bundle tech right here, really. Possible Dark Scorpion Warrior deck profile? Maybe. We'll see. Alright, moving on to the next one, we got Autonomous Action Unit. This card is really great. I'm surprised I really don't see it used often at all. It's a equip spell, so it can be searched with Kotetsu. You pay 1,500 life points to target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your side of the field on attack position. When it's removed, when this card is removed, destroys equipped monster. So it's like a super Premature Burial in sort of way. So you're paying almost twice the amount of a premature barrel, but you do get the choice of one of your opponent's monsters, and this is great because you can affect their chaos strategies. You can bring back a strong monster that they have in their graveyard. Maybe it's a Kaiku, maybe it's a Blackluster Soldier, or you can bring back a monster to tribute it for perhaps a Monarch or whatever is in your deck. It's more of a side deck option, I would say, but it does have its usefulness. Because again, since Monster Reborn isn't in this format, there's really no great way to bring monsters from your opponent's graveyard to your side of the field. I can't think of any off the top of my head except for Autonomous Action Unit, and life points are a resource. You want to use them to help win the game, and I think Autonomous Action Unit has a lot of versatility that you could use in a game for many different ways that players aren't really testing out. So definitely look for this card. All right, next card, we got Hammer Shot. It's a spell card that destroys one attack position monster on the field with the highest attack. It's your choice if it's tied. This card is really great. Downside, obviously, being that it can destroy your own monster. Just don't play it if it would destroy your own monster. Because otherwise, it can have that downside in which your opponent may have a high defense monster on the field, and that's it, but you can't use Hammer Shot to hit over it. Which, yeah, that's unfortunate. But I would imagine more times than not, Hammer Shot would be useful because monster removal in the form of spell cards, there isn't a ton. There's Fissure, which I guess you could run Fissure too, but most people will run something like Smashing Ground or Lightning Vortex as an alternate monster destruction, since Darkhold and Raigeki aren't in this format. So Hammer Shot will allow you to just have an additional destruction card. If you look at Fissure real quick, Fissure is kind of like the same thing, where it destroys one face-up monster your opponent controls that has the lowest attack. And this is also good because it destroys your opponent's monster for sure with the lowest attack. But Hammer Shot's good because you can ensure destruction of a Berserkerilla, of a Blackluster Soldier, Chaos Sorcerer, some very strong attack monster that would warrant a card like Hammer Shot more than a card like Fissure would. So that's why I'm picking Hammer Shot over Fissure, but I guess Fissure is like a secret. This is like a top 10 tech almost with all these extra techs I'm throwing in here. But I do think Hammer Shot has utility. I do think it does have downside, but that's kind of obvious with it. I mean, a card like Lightning Vortex can't attack over, or can't work over face-down monsters, but neither can Hammer Shot. And Hammer Shot you don't need to discard a card for, so you know, it's a weaker version of Lightning Vortex in that capacity. All right, next card we're talking about is Interdimensional Matter Transporter. This card is really cool. This card can actually do a lot. See what it is, it's a trap that you target one face-up monster you control and banish that target until the end phase. I don't know why I said that weird. So this card is cool because you can avoid a lot of things. So if your opponent, let's say, summons a monster to use a Torrential Tribute, or maybe they have a Raigeki Break, a Hammer Shot, or a Snatch Steal, you can avoid so many cards and make your opponent waste a card in the process with Interdimensional Matter Transporter. Let's say you have a monster on the field and your opponent summons a Blackluster Soldier. You can avoid that second attack and have a monster for next turn that you could use its effect for something, you could use for a tribute, you can use to attack. There's so much versatility with Matter Transporter that I feel like a lot of players are missing out on. You can use it to protect your Blackluster Soldier from things. That's pretty crazy. Now, unless they have, like Solemn Judgment, but that card just stops everything and should just, be forgotten as a counter argument for any card. But Matter Transporter, I do think there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, a lot of stuff you can avoid having to worry about. In terms of a lot of traps and spells and monster effects, and it's just until the end phase. So most likely you're going to be fine for leaving it for one turn if you need to. This is a reactionary card to really keep your pace up, which is great. And you can also you chain it with, maybe not chain it, but you can use the same turn, a return from different dimensions, just bring it back too if you need to. So there's more options for this card to use. So like this one might be my favorite one on the list. So, you know, try it out. Alright, so the last card we're talking about is Statue of the Wicked. This is another trap card, normal trap. And when it's destroyed face down, you can special summon 1 Wicked token with 1,000 attack and defense to your field. So this is kind of cool. It's a simple effect. It's a token generator card. It does punish your opponent if they use a card like MST or Heavy Storm. Or hell, even if you use a Heavy Storm, or I think Mobius can hit it too, because Mobius just hits anything on the field. Yeah, you can destroy up to 2 targets on the field. So you can get another advantage card from this. You can get a Statue of the Wicked that it does have 1,000 attack, so it can hit over certain monsters, but it can be tributed for whatever you need it for. You can use it for a metamorphosis. Let me try it again. You can use it for a metamorphosis target for a level 4, I suppose, if you wanted to. But you can use it for tribute. You can use it for whatever you need it for on the field. Have another body with a scapegoat, perhaps. So there's just things you can do with this card. I'm not 100% sure on everything you could do with it, but I do think it's interesting. And you know, this tech video isn't for like, you know, this is going to be meta stuff, but this is just me explaining cards I think does have use that could be fun to try out in GOAT format, because there's just so many cards in the card pool to pull from. I think Statue of the Wicked could have some fun with it, with just like a fun deck. Again, I'm not saying these are meta cards, but they're just the cards I don't think are bad that could find use for it. So, you know, let me know what you would use Statue of the Wicked for sure. So yeah, this was my list. Let me know what you think about the tech cards. Let me know if you have any tech cards of the GOAT format, or other tech videos of other formats you'd like to see. Let me know down in the comments below, and until I see you all next time, have a wonderful day.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba.